This is the Congruent Triangles video lesson. Today's learning target is I can identify congruent triangles. Please follow along on your worksheet and write down whatever you see on your screen. Before we talk too much about congruent triangles, we need to talk about a couple vocabulary words. One of those words or phrases is between, which means the same thing as the included side or included angle. So let's look at an example here. Let's draw a triangle A, B, C. If something is between, it lies in the middle of two other things. So in this particular example, if I look at angle A and angle C, side AC is between angle A and angle C. We can also describe an angle as being between two sides. So let's take a look at angle B. Angle B is between side AB and side BC. Angle B is between side AB and side BC. We could also say that side AC is the included angle of angle A and angle C, or the included side of angle A and angle C. And angle B is the included angle of side AB and side BC. Those two phrases work the same way. The next vocabulary word that we're going to talk about is adjacent. We could say something is adjacent to. Adjacent means next. Or more specifically, adjacent to means next to. So if we look at our triangle that I've drawn to the left, I could say that side AC is adjacent to angle A. I could say that side AC is adjacent to side AB. Adjacent means next to. Opposite is an important term as well. Opposite means across from, just like it does in everyday English. So using my triangle to the left, I could say that angle B is opposite side AC. So I'll say opposite means across from, and angle B is opposite side AC. Take a moment to make sure you have all of these definitions written down. Please pause the video until that's done and resume the video once you've written those down. Using the definitions you've written down above, please fill in these blanks using any of those vocabulary words. There might be more than one possible answer for each of these blanks. We'll do number 1 and 2 together, but then you'll finish the rest on your own. Number 1 says angle A is blank sides AB and AC. So here's angle A, and then I'll mark in pink side AB, and in red side AC. The word that I'm choosing to use for this situation is between. Angle A is between sides AB and AC. Let's try number 2. Angle B is blank to sides AB and BC. So here's angle B, and we're looking for the relationship between angle B and sides AB and BC. I would say that angle B is between them, but since I have this word to here, I would say that angle B is adjacent to those two sides because it touches them. It's next to them. Please pause the video right now and answer the rest of the questions on this page. Let's check our answers together. Number 3, Side AB is opposite angle C. Number 4, side BC is the included side of angle B and angle C. Number 5, angle B is opposite to side AC. Number 6, side AB is between angle A and angle B. Number 7, what is the included angle of sides AB and BC? Angle B. Please fix your answers if they are incorrect. The word corresponding is really important in geometry. Corresponding means parts that are in the same spot on two different shapes. Given two or more shapes, corresponding parts are in the same position on each shape. So here we're going to talk about triangle correspondence. If you take a look at our table, we're looking for corresponding vertices. These symbols up here mean that angle ABC corresponds to angle STR, which means that they're either congruent or similar. Now, I can tell you by looking at these pictures right now, and because I'm giving you this information, that these triangles are congruent. Now, we don't necessarily know that mathematically. I'm telling you that as your teacher right now. We'll be talking about how to figure out if triangles are congruent later, but for now, let's just talk about corresponding parts. So I'm going to kind of color code. I'm looking for the letters that line up in the same position. So angle A and angle S, they're both in that lower right-hand position. Angle B and angle T are on top. Angle A and S are in the lower left-hand corner. And angle C and angle R are in the lower right-hand corner. Those are our vertices, right? Which are the same in this case as our angles. So I'm going to list them as corresponding parts. So I know that angle A corresponds to angle S. And if you pay attention to my color coding, you'll notice that I'm writing in those same colors. I know that angle B corresponds to angle T. And angle C corresponds to angle R. And again, that is because they're in the same positions. Please note a couple things. One, this symbol here, a little line symbol that looks like it has arrows on both ends, that's the symbol that I use to mean corresponds to. Secondly, if you notice, ABC is on the left, and every time I put A, B, and C on the left, and STR is on the right. So I've labeled the vertices for you. I'd like you to label the corresponding angles and corresponding sides. So please pause the video right now and complete this section. When you're done, please resume the video and you'll see the answers. Angle BAC corresponds to angle TSR. Angle ACB corresponds to angle SRT, and angle CBA corresponds to angle RTS. For our corresponding sides, AB corresponds to ST, BC corresponds to TR, and AC corresponds to SR. Please note here that the order is important. So let's use AC and SR for an example. I went from A to C. So in my color coding scheme, red to yellow. Because I went from red to yellow, I had to go from red to yellow in the second triangle as well. So in other words, left to right, my labels went left to right both times. Same thing for my angles. If you look at, let's say, angle ACB and angle SRT. So ACB goes left and then up. SRT also goes left and then up. I would never want to say that angle ACB was congruent to angle TRS. Please take a moment right now to complete the success criteria table. Please just place a check mark in the appropriate column for each of your two criteria. I can use vocabulary such as between, adjacent, opposite, and included to describe parts of triangles, and I can identify corresponding parts of similar or congruent triangles.